Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Deus Ex Human Revolution. I am your German snob, and I'm very happy to be here again. Last time we were in the morgue of the police station. Though today our job here is done, so that means we can leave again. No. So that means we are going to go through the exit, even though this seems to lead to the sewers. I don't think I want to go to the sewers, and seeing how this place is under surveillance, I don't think I can go to the sewers. So that means we just have to leave through the entrance, like normal people do. But that's fine by me. There is one thing we still have to do in that general area, which, well, there is that one place I didn't know how to get to in the last episode. So let's see if I can find a way today. I can't imagine that it would be that hard. But, well, as I said, we're gonna see about that. Out we go. Loading times, I'm gonna say it outright, it could be shorter.
Jensen, I have a message for you. From one of your former colleagues, a Detective Alexander.
Jenny, what did you want?
She said she could use some help if you can make your way over to Grand River Road. And might I just add, as wonderful as it is to have you back at the office, I am not your personal dating service.
That's fine. And we are going to get back to her later. But for now we have something more urgent to attend to. It doesn't really involve creeping around dumpsters, but what do you know? Because I'm wondering, how do I get to the next quest objective? If I don't figure it out soon, I'm gonna make a cut. But I can't imagine that it's that hard. Because really all I have to do is get back here. Into that alley. Back there. Though it would seem right now as if I have to go from... Yeah, where exactly? Mighty good question. I want to say as if I have to go from the other direction. But that does not seem to be an option right now. So excuse me for a moment, I'm gonna make a cut here. I think I got it. Back in the tunnel over here, there is another passage that I have missed the first time I looked at this area. So basically, here it is. Now, the question to be asked is... what do I do about that electrified floor? Well, as I said, that is a mighty good question. That's most definitely not it, but I'm sure I can use that box somehow. Is there another one? Yes, there is. I think I have a plan, folks. If it's a good plan, well, who knows. But this might work. It might just be crazy enough to work. Yep, you've probably figured out by now what I'm trying to do here. Place one in front of the other and make my way through that way. I reckon it's probably not going to be the most exciting thing to watch. And if there was a faster way to do it, I would. But I don't think there is. However, it shouldn't take too long. So carefully, one in front of the other. And if it goes on for, well, a bit longer after we've turned over that corner, I'm going to make a cut. But I kinda don't expect it to. I don't know if there would be a faster way to do this. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But it seems to be the most obvious one. And it seems like exactly the kind of thing that Deus Ex makes you do. Yep, made it. So let's turn this shit off. I mean, it's just not safe. And now that we are back here, can I expect this building to be in any way protected? Looks fairly empty to me. Like, there are a few guys here, just a few bums, but they're not gonna be dangerous. Now let's break in. Security rating 1, and we have the combination. Well then, let's put it in. I don't even recall where we picked it up. Probably somewhere inside the police station. Now, what do we have here? A whole bunch of documents. About the terrorist attack. Detective Gene Sepkowski. That sounds like a Polish or a Czech name. Well, you can read it. I mean, you don't need me to read it to you out loud, do ya? And another one. And that's not nearly all. There's also that one right here. Oh hey, autopsy report of Megan. Oh, so at this point we are assumed, or we are expected to assume that she's dead. So I might have just might have said too much when I told you that she's actually just kidnapped. But come on, it's a video game. That's what happens in video games. Nevertheless, though, that was kind of unprofessional for me, wasn't it? Security rating 3. Nah, can't do it. Though I might be able to do it now. Because I just got another Abraxas point to invest. So I might just do that. As I said, hacking is the first thing I want to upgrade. Turret domination, yeah, that would be pretty nice too, wouldn't it? So let's try this. The first level 3 security rating, so I hope I'm not gonna mess this up. KKK, what do we have here? Take in this one. Meanwhile, fortify this. Take in this one and this too. And while we're at it, fortify this and fortify this. Then take in this one and don't fortify this because we are out of time. Talking about out of time. Is this still going to... Yes. That was a bit of a close call. Now let's hope it's worth it. Well, we find a bracelet, which I don't really have any use for, and an ebook. Now that looks pretty interesting. Okay, it's from Megan. Looks like she has discovered something. Something big. Something that maybe shouldn't get out. As I said, mighty curious. But once we get back to Megan's mom, we should be able to wrap up that side quest. Oh, and we could have gotten in here through the sewers.
If we detect even the slightest suspicious fluctuation in signal, we have to shut you down. The World Order and their team of expert hackers could be trying to track us. And that's why we have to create a covert host site for every new stream and then shut it down immediately once the call's over. I'm sitting here, just me and my techie Steve in a sweaty, clammy, claustrophobic van, tossing digipads out in the trash left and right in order to bring you this show via satellite. But I'm good with it. I'm good with it because I understand the reality of living in a slave state. You can bet they'll keep trying to shut us down, but I won't stop, followers. I will not stop until there is a full-scale revolt in progress. You hear what I'm saying, people? You okay, Steve? Good.
Okay, that was that from Nat Alex Jones. Always nice to hear from him. You know, wanna hear an interesting thing about the original Deus Ex? It didn't have nearly as much of a coherent... Doesn't look like I can get up there, does it? It didn't have nearly as much of a coherent theme as Human Revolution. The theme of the original Deus Ex was more or less generally conspiracy theories, and it threw in pretty much everything from your aliens, to your government conspiracies, to your black helicopters, to your... well, whatever you can imagine. I don't think there were any David Ickean lizard people in there, but as I said, a lot of different stuff, a hodgepodge of conspiracy theories. Which is why sometimes I wonder why people praise the story of the original Deus Ex. It didn't really use them very well. It seemed rather unfocused in what it does. And maybe some would prefer a game that does too much to one that does too little. But personally, I think I enjoy the general transhumanist thing that this game has going on just a bit more. Because as I said, it's more focused. Also, I think there is someone we can talk to right here.
Long time no see.
Yeah, that prostitute right there, Jenny Alexander.
Jensen. My God, it's been a while. Remember me? We used to work the old 17th precinct back in the day. Man, I wish I could go with the good old you haven't changed at all bit, but that'd be complete and utter bullshit, right?
Let's be friendly about this. Friendly but professional.
Yeah, I guess that's one way to put it. You look a little different too, Xander. What's your new gig?
Deep cover. I'm keeping tabs on the derelict row ballers for now. I've got a hunch something big's coming.
Why do I get the sudden feeling you're about to include me into that something big?
Because you're clever. That and the fact that, well, it's pretty obvious. But jokes aside, you couldn't have come at a better time, Jensen. This case I'm on, we're stalling and we could use a little external help.
Go ahead.
I'm with IA now, and we're working a sting on a dirty cop named Jack O'Malley. Elusive motherfucker. I mean, Men in Black elusive. We know he's involved in drugs, weapon dealing, tied into the gangs. But he's clever, and we just can't seem to pin anything on him. I swear he's got friends in high places.
Okay, and where do I fit in all this?
You're an outsider. You can go places we legally can't. I need someone to do a couple of things. Break into his apartment, sneak into DRB territory, and finally, go undercover posing as a hitman. This guy is nothing minor, Jensen. He's the real deal. Major player, major consequences. We have to get him before shit hits the fan. You in?
Sure. It's not like I had a whole bunch of jobs already, no sir.
Can't let a guy like that roam free. I'm in.
All right then, let's get to work. Like I said, I've got a couple of very promising leads, but O'Malley's got friends among the powers that be. I wouldn't be able to get my hands on a warrant, even if I had footage of the perp confessing in real time as he's finger painting his motive on the wall in the victim's blood. So I guess we're gonna have to break a few rules.
Rules would only slow me down.
Suits me. Rules would only slow me down.
Very dirty Harry of you, Jensen. But we still have to be careful how we handle this. We've worked hard to catch this son of a bitch. I don't want him to walk on a technicality.
Alright. So... let's do this clockwise, I guess.
So what am I looking for in O'Malley's apartment?
Information, drugs, weapons. Basically anything you think can be used to build a stronger case against him. The more you get, the better.
Fine. So about the shipment.
Okay. What's this about getting into DRB territory?
Yeah, I need you to get in there and track down a shipment of weapons for me. We managed to gain access to solid information that will tie it to O'Malley, but I need proof it's really there. They've probably stashed it around somewhere.
A cop dealing weapons to a criminal anti-aug gang? Not a pretty picture.
Got that right. I guess we both agree. Nothing good can come out of this, huh? I don't know where exactly the DRB's cache is, but I know there's a bonus for you if you manage to sneak in and out without being spotted. Would make shit easier to handle on my side.
Uh-huh. And about the undercover
What
assignment?
about the undercover assignment? Posing as a hitman.
O'Malley's crafty, and even a bit paranoid. He's always using proxies, scapegoats, and red herrings to get us off his ass. But after months of schmoozing, we finally got through to one of his guys. Turned him into a mole. He provides us with information, stuff like that.
And he's gonna be my way in?
Exactly. Yesterday, another one of O'Malley's guys whacked someone, a drug dealer. There's a witness, but we don't have any details. O'Malley does, and he wants someone to take care of the mess. The usual guy just got busted for possession, so the contact will send you in to pose as his replacement. O'Malley will be waiting for you in an alley next to the police station.
And you want me to milk him to get the info on the witness?
You haven't lost your touch, Jensen. We think O'Malley will ask you to retrieve the murder weapon, use it to kill the witness, and then plant it on a scapegoat he can arrest later. What you need to do is get that weapon and bring it to me.
And what about the witness?
We're almost positive he's a member of the MCBs. Once you know the location, you'll need to get there, take care of any opposition, and prep him for retrieval.
Prep him?
Well, you know, he's a gangbanger, Jensen. He's not going to turn in peacefully, but we need him alive. So I guess you're going to have to play this one macho and knock him out. One of our guys will then just happen to stumble upon him. You know, serendipity.
Okay, let's do this. You can contact me on my info link if anything comes up.
Excellent. Oh, and Jensen, one last thing. To protect my cover, it'd be better if you only contact me again once you've taken care of everything.
That's perfectly fine. So I'll just leave you standing there, dressed like a woman in a video game. And yeah, I have to do that eventually. But I don't know. There is so much stuff we have to do. Let's take a look at what our objectives are. Yeah, right. That's that one, the derelict row one. I think we have to go there for a main quest a bit later anyway. So that can still wait. What else is there? This one right there. And there are two, one of which will also help us towards our main objective. So let's gonna get in there. Also, apparently Jensen lives in building 420. Great. Well, now here we are. Hey there, Megan's mom. How are you doing?
Have you found anything? Please, I've got to know what really happened to Megan.
Let's get this done with.
I've investigated all of Detective Chase's leads. You were right. Something was off with Megan's case.
So, what did you find?
A lot.
An officer assigned to the case was asked to get rid of a major piece of evidence. Footage from one of our intellicams showed fuzzy images of the attackers bringing something inside the labs.
What? What were they bringing in?
I don't know. But for someone higher up to want that evidence gone, it must have been important. I got my hand on a test report that confirms what was bothering Chase. The attackers used excessive measures to make bodies and equipment unidentifiable.
Oh my God, Megan. What do you make of this, Adam?
I don't know exactly. I guess the idea was to leave no traces, no DNA evidence that would link back to them. But it just seems a bit too convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Someone in the government, a man named Manderley, ordered that a specially appointed medical examiner perform the autopsy. He bypassed the local ME. Simply put, that's not a good sign.
It sure doesn't sound good.
And the last one.
There were only 3 people who got out of the labs alive. Me and 2 others. One died in the hospital a few days later. The second one, a lab tech, was ready to give a detailed description of what he saw. Funny thing is, by the time the investigators got to him, he couldn't remember a thing.
You sound like you don't believe that.
I don't. Not from the reports I've read. I think someone got to him first.
So what you're telling me is we couldn't find anything conclusive?
No, I'm sorry. But one thing's for sure. Somebody's been hard at work covering up and destroying evidence related to this case. Somebody with power, who wanted to erase anything that might have made the investigation linger.
And I found her bracelet.
I'm sorry, Cassandra. I wish I had more tangible answers to give you. But I did stumble on something I think you should have. I found Megan's bracelet. I'm sure she'd want you to have it.
Oh, Adam, that's very kind of you. Her grandmother gave it to her. She loved that bracelet very much. Thank you for all you did. And, do you know exactly how Megan died?
I read the reports. She didn't suffer, Cassandra. I can promise you that.
Thank you, Adam. It's not much, but it still brings me some comfort. I miss her so much.
Well, it's not over yet.
Don't worry, Cassandra. This is not over. I don't know how or when, but I will get to the bottom of this.
I knew I was right to trust you, Adam. But please, be careful. It's strange. I thought knowing what really happened would make me feel better. But nothing will ever justify this. My daughter is gone, and I'll never get her back. I wish I could be sure she gets justice.
Trust me, she will.
Yeah, alright. So we are done with that. Also, there was some pretty bad voice acting from both sides in that cutscene just now. Just putting that out. Now, what do we have here? That's the very same newspaper we've read already in the clinic, I think it was. Might have also been the police station, I don't remember quite.
Where are you, Jensen? I haven't got all night.
Hello, Pritchard. I'm almost in my apartment now.
Well, when you do get in there, connect the neural hub to your computer. I've created a secure tunnel, and I'll take over remotely.
You can access my personal computer.
Who do you think configured your security protocols?
So let's do that next. Enter our own apartment. Which, and this deserves to be pointed out, is one of the most well-designed locations in this game. Well, there are many very well-designed locations in this game, but this is most definitely an especially well-designed one. And so therefore I don't want to wait any longer until I enter it. Was just looking around if there might have been something. Wait, what was that?
Sure it was. I knew you and that monster were close, but I didn't realize you were that close. I don't know. I guess I wanted to be reminded of what it was like to be with someone normal. You were the one who wanted us to get enhanced. Now you're saying we're not normal anymore. Well, I'll try not to touch you too often with my cold, dead metal hands. Okay?
Just cyberpunk things.
Yes?
But yeah, we are wasting enough time here.
Welcome home, Mr. Jensen.
Good to be back. They really wanted to make this scene memorable. And they succeeded. It looks very pretty, doesn't it? I think you'll agree. No, I don't want a combat rifle. Well, as you can see, Jensen has quite a plethora of things in his office. Like that really old-timey telescope? Microscope? Microscope, right? I think so. But also that telescope and whatever that is. What I'm trying to say here, he apparently has a thing for, well, kind of old-timey stuff. Really digging that candle holder. An ebook on clock building. Well, time to learn a bit of history. I think that's quite enough history. Bunch of books, child and violence. A picture in what I assume is supposed to be the actress Megan is based on with their dog. About whom there is, by the way, if I remember correctly, a message in our media log. Though I might be wrong about that now that I Wait. Emails, yes, should be there. Huh. No, seems like we don't have it anymore. Well, all I wanted to say there is the dog they used to own was named Kubrick, which is a reference to... You know what? Look it up. References sometimes get ruined by pointing them out. So yeah, something about our PC, right?
Pritchard, the hub's connected.
I know. Now be quiet and let me concentrate.
I need his name, Pritchard, not his entire genetic history.
That's not his DNA. It's the data he was trying to steal from us before he... My God, Jensen. Your suicide hacker didn't kill himself.
You obviously didn't see his brain splattered all over the floor.
No, you don't understand. The wet drive modification in this chip, it allows someone to hack through you. It turns you quite literally into a human proxy.
So he wasn't working alone. Someone off-site was doing the actual hacking.
Exactly. And whoever it was tried to hide his location by using multiple satellites. But I may have just traced him to here, an abandoned factory complex in Highland Park.
Get me the address, Pritchard. Because if we're lucky, whoever pulled our terrorist strings might still be there.
Uh-huh. And there are our emails. Which might seem much less important, but I still think they deserve some attention. Yeah, and also he smashed his mirror in anger. This might have either been in the intro or maybe in one of the trailers for this game, I don't really remember. But yeah, as I said, his dog. He was named Kubrick, that's kind of cool. Don't really know how it ties into the story of this game, because I don't think he has made any movie dealing with quite the same themes. Maybe 2001: A Space Odyssey, but that was a different beast entirely. I don't know, he hasn't really made that many science fiction movies.
Adam,
The one might
it's
argue...
David.
Yeah.
Let me guess. You're sending me to Highland Park.
Not just yet. Frank's figured out why the network's been compromised. There's a persistent transmission coming from Derelict Row.
Street gang territory?
Well, our dead friend was posing as an Antioch. Who better to hide with than the D-Row ballers?
Right. I'm on my way.
Uh-huh. Well, we have to go to Derelict Row anyway for the side quest. But I reckon that's something that we should probably do next episode. And I hope I'll see you again then. Oh, already read that. So, until then, I am your German snob. This is Let's Play Deus Ex Human Revolution, and I'll be seeing you again, well, next time. Until then, have a good time, and ciao.